Hi cuties, and welcome to a throwback video. If you don't know, I have cauldron prompts, I do, where I have certain challenges I need to complete within the quarter, and one of them was to do a throwback video, and per popular demand, we are gonna look at my most popular videos. So we're gonna look at two of them. One of them, which is the one that was recommended, and then I thought I would do my absolute #1 most watched video. And it's kind of weird because this was made like 10 years ago, so a lot has changed, but we're gonna look at it, okay? So the #1 requested video for me to do this throwback to was for my speed laundry being fat in Japan video that I made while I was living in Fukui about 10 whole years ago. No, not even, almost 11 years, because it was December 9th, 2012. It has 30,636 views, which not bad for a J-vlogger, and I know it's the most video I've ever had watched, especially in my booktube days right now. We're gonna review what's going on here, and I will react to what Q from almost 11 years ago said. That's what we're doing. Let's take a look already. The great, lovely still shot here. With our fua, which is fluffy. Those are the dryers in my old apartment complex. And dear Lord, that bucket hat. There's gonna be a lot of me going, why did I wear that?
Hey, we're gonna do some errands while we play the game Speed Laundry. How do you play the game Speed Laundry? Well, the trick is I'm going to put my coins in the dryer here and see if I can get all my errands done before the load is finished. So let's play Speed Laundry.
So Speed Laundry is still a thing that I do. And the thing with the dryers in Japan, they take a lot longer than American dryers, so there was more opportunity for me to get errands done. And then I just remembered there's a lovely intro. I don't do intros anymore because even when I watch people who have intros, I'm like, this takes way too long, get to the rest of the video. So I don't do this anymore because it annoys me personally. But there's me and my Fidomine cosplay. Oh god. And there's my old name, Nippon Q. So if you didn't know, I used to be called Nippon Q. That's why people still call me Q. And when I rebranded for booktube and authortube, I became QWERTY, not Q-wordy. So many people say Q-wordy and it drives me insane. It's QWERTY because of the keyboard. QWERTY. QWERTY is a keyboard thing here. And then QWERTY because I deal with words and stuff now more than Japan, but there's a long story about why my name was Nippon Q. I'm sure you might have already heard it if it's not your first rodeo here, but my sister designed that logo. I remember making those little shorts and trying so hard to find decent dynamic footage, and that's why there's like a still shot of a dragonfly, because why not?
I accidentally put one too many coins in the laundry. Oops.
The lighting.
We checked the mail. I have a bill. And yes, we're doing my errands at night because I was busy doing other stuff today, like filming for Project for Awesome. No, I wasn't. I was just watching YouTube videos. But I did get my...
Okay, but I definitely did film something for Project for Awesome. I used to actively participate in it, and then I stopped. It's also, I don't know how late it actually is, but it's December in Japan. Japan does not do daylight saving, so it was dark at 4 p.m.
Project for Awesome stuff prepared. I'm more prepared now, okay? It counts as doing something. What is this? What is this? No, none of that, thank you.
I still hate snow. I hate snow so much. Also in Japan, winter takes a long time. Like, it's actually December 21st, the actual winter solstice. That's when it actually shifts. Like, it was kind of cold, but nothing like what I've dealt with in America.
None of that. First errand is the recycle shop. Actually, it wasn't. The first errand was go get money, but I forgot to film getting money. Not that getting money is all that interesting.
So I probably didn't go to a bank. I probably went to a convenience store to get money and then also paid that bill at the same time. Just puzzling it out. But I loved this recycle shop. It was very, very, very close to my apartment complex, and I was there all the time.
I'm gonna look for a few things here. I need a new DVD player because mine is broken. It's always very dangerous for me to come to secondhand store. What do you guys think? Yes? It's snowing! Stop it! Next errand, Daiso. Kiddo, we should have Santa costume. The lights on my little Christmas tree have already gone out. I need to get new ones. I think I've managed to find enough containers for stuff because I need to get organized. My house is a mess.
Always is a mess, and I used to spend so much money at Daiso. Way more than necessary. And I would buy the most useless stuff for no reason.
Third errand, Craft Tattoo Con. Here.
I forgot about this store.
Because I'm about patterns and I make my own clothes now. So, and there's a sale. Basket full of fabric, so much fabric. It's all on sale. Have my bag of fabric. Oh, the stuff I'm gonna make. I don't know what I'm gonna make. But now it's off to our last errand, which is just groceries. So, I'll probably see you guys back in the laundry.
Yeah, I had to make my own clothes. That's actually where I really got into sewing. I started sewing before this trip because I used to sew the taiko uniforms for my old taiko group at SCSU. And then I just ended up having to sew a lot of clothes in Japan because as a larger lady, it's not even about the size, because there were like extra larges and stuff there. It's the shoulders. Our shoulder widths are, the way that they cut clothing in Japan for Japanese women, very different than how they cut things for like our shoulders. That's what was the struggle.
You win this time, laundry. So we're gonna do.
I just have to take a moment to say there are reasons I don't cut my hair short, and this is one of them. And also gray, not a good color on me. I don't know why I constantly think I can wear gray. Terrible.
A little bit of talk while I fold my laundry. So recently it was brought to my attention by my friend Adrian. Hi Adrian, shout out to you.
I hardly ever talk to Adrian anymore. He did recently text me on messaging me on Facebook that he was actually in town here, but I was working so we could not meet up.
I never actually met Adrian, only via Skype. Adrian lurks around on the Jet forums and told me that I was mentioned.
I forgot this whole video was triggered by a Jet forum. Wow, I forgot the Jet forums.
The forum was about being overweight and in Japan, so we're going to talk about that. In the forum, the questions were posed if being overweight affects your chances of getting into JET program. And the answer to that is no. However, being overweight does affect how you will be able to handle life here in Japan. It was mentioned on the forums that I project myself as a very confident person and very bright and positive, and that's true some of the time.
Not most of the time. Yeah, I definitely put on a bit more of a persona, and I definitely did back then. I did a lot more acting. Now I'm a lot more natural on camera than I was back then, when I was really putting on a persona and wanting to project this idea that I was, like, if I could pretend to be confident and positive, then naturally I would become that way, right? And that's not the case because depression.
But I, like any other human being, have feelings and can easily be brought down by the words of others when commenting on my side. So I just want to make it clear that no one is immune to the depression that comes along with being overweight. I mean, I used to really struggle with my weight, and I occasionally still do.
Yeah, I still do. A lot. I know I think I'm definitely less, I don't know, what I weigh less now than I did in this video, but I don't think by a whole lot anymore. And like, I did have what is technically called weight loss surgery. I've kind of rebounded from that. I'm not back up to the weight that I was before the surgery, but weight loss has always been an issue for me, and my size has always been an issue and a factor in my mental health because of how society has pressured mostly women. It does it to men too, but because I'm a woman, I felt that pressure as a woman to be skinnier and be prettier and all those things, and that has not changed in the decades since. I mean, it hasn't changed my entire life, but this, like I said before, like, I definitely tried to pretend like it didn't bother me as much as it did, and it bothers me so much, especially in terms of my experience with other Jets who were not overweight and noting the differences in our experiences. So that hasn't changed. Depression doesn't really change a lot with that, and society's expectations, while I think, you know, being a larger girl is much more accepted nowadays, we still get hate for it. We still have fat phobia. We still have all these issues, no matter what country you go to at the time. I mean, I can't speak for all countries, but at least between Japan and America, yeah.
Japan is notoriously a country where being fat is very, very bad. There are certain types of overweight people that can handle being here. And
before going to Japan does still have probably a bit of, I mean, it's known as a country to having very small, skinny people. There are overweight people in Japan. How it's accepted though is still problematic, because like, it's a little bit more accepted to be larger now, but usually those are comedians and it's something to laugh at, and that's still an issue, I think, for Japan.
The type you have to be is the one who can take a hit from curious Japanese children. I can't tell you the number of times that I've walked into a store and a small child has shouted, "Debu, Debu," which means fatty, fatty, basically. You have to be able to let those things go.
Okay, so yes, it wasn't all the time that it happened, but it did happen a lot, and especially as a teacher where you're interacting with children of various ages, there was always comments. There was a lot of mochis of them poking at my belly and stuff. The worst one that I experienced, because this is my biggest, like, most self-conscious part of myself, and that is my double chin, because it is very prominent, and it's part of the genetics of my family. My grandmother has the same one, and I'm like, I'm gonna end up looking like my grandma when I'm older and have a very saggy double chin, which is a very sensitive topic for me. But I would walk into classrooms in the middle schools. That's where it was a little bit, no, it was a high school? No, it was still a middle school. It was just the upperclassmen of the middle school, and the kids would walk in and do this and just accentuate the fact that, yes, I have this. And even when I'm like editing videos nowadays, I'm still like, if I film a video where the angle is incorrect, it's such a struggle to get through that, because I hate looking at it, but it is my #1 most sensitive part about looking at myself. And that was definitely a big factor in Japan.
This goes for any foreigner, especially us foreigners who don't look Asian, I guess. The Asian foreigners, you can kind of blend in a little bit.
Okay, what I'm saying here is absolutely stupid, by the way. I'm just gonna put that out. I will say, in certain ways, yes, if you are of Asian descent, you blend in a little bit better in a large crowd, but most Asian countries are very good at depicting or discerning where your background is, because there are a lot of like Korean immigrants, Chinese immigrants, Filipino immigrants in Japan, and I don't know how, because I definitely am not as great at telling the difference, but there are subtleties that like Japanese people are very much able to be like, that person's from Korea, whereas for me I'd be like, sure, why not? But that's just being ignorant white person right here, and probably right now too.
I know that sounds a little racist, but you can't, because people will stare at you for anything. People stare at me all the time, and in my brain I'm going, are they staring at me because I'm foreign? Are they staring at me because I'm fat? Are they staring at me because I'm foreign and fat? Or maybe they're staring at me because I'm holding a camera up to my face in the middle of the grocery store.
Yes, it was all of those.
When you're considering coming over here for an extended period of time, you have to be able to shake all those things off and get over it. Because if you hang on to them, you're gonna have a really bad time.
Oh, why did I use a South Park meme? That's an old school meme too, where it's the block text. Wow. Oh, old internet culture.
My black monkey pajamas. I just wanted to.
Oh, I miss those pajamas. Those were really comfy.
The person who was on the jet forum that was saying really nice things about me. I can't remember your username right now. I think it's light something. I forget.
Thanks for saying nice things about me. I don't know if you still watch this channel.
But I'm putting your username right here, and this is a shout out to you.
Also, that text shows me that like I was not using Adobe Premiere Pro at this time. What was I using? I forget what it's called. It wasn't free. It was like $100 editing program. But that's straight up from that.
You are awesome. Don't let anyone ever tell you what to do or how you should look, because that's up to you. I've had plenty of haters on YouTube tell me how ugly and fat I am.
Still do. Still do.
And I just like to ignore them because, you know, they're probably 12-year-old. And at first I really struggled with all of the haters. It was really difficult for me to continue doing YouTube, but then I figured, you know what? Screw it. It's my channel. I do what I want.
Which is still true. It is my channel. I do what I want. I still struggle sometimes when I do get those comments. I still struggle even now, you know, over 10 years later, and having my like subscriber number barely have changed since then. So I have still been in a state of why am I doing this? But I still enjoy doing this. I still enjoy my community. Even if we are a smaller community on here, I still enjoy that. It's just sometimes when there's a lack of, you know, not views, but usually for me it's comments. Comments tell me more than anything if people have watched my video. So when I work really hard on a video and I get 0 comments on it, that's when my confidence, my self-worth takes a hit, because I'm like, why am I doing this if no one's watching? But it fluctuates, and that again fluctuates with the depression. On when I'm doing really good, I have the attitude of I don't care, it's my channel, I'll do what I want. And on the really bad days, it's the questioning of why am I even doing this? I should just quit. So that has still, and it still remains a problem for me in mental health, but it's less so about, you know, being fat in Japan, obviously, because I'm not there.
I have a lot of socks right there. The question is, do they all have hair? But just to all the large people coming into Japan, I'm not going to say that you will be fine here, because that is completely up to you. If you think you can handle the constant staring, the occasional small child calling out about how fat you are, and your students wanting to know your weight, then yes, come. But if you don't think you can handle that, and granted, it doesn't happen every single day. I've had every single one of those experiences, but not all at once.
I'll also say it doesn't only happen just for fat people. It'll happen more often for fat people, just foreigners in Japan, especially white people in Japan. You're gonna get the stares. It's just gonna happen. You're the minority there. So if you're a more self-conscious person, regardless of your weight, then it might be a bigger struggle to be in Japan, where you do stick out like a sore thumb.
And not every day. They happen occasionally. But if you know you can handle that kind of stuff, you can come to Japan. And for those of you worried about the interview, they are not going to ask you about your weight. That is completely unprofessional and irrelevant. They might ask you if you're able to walk up lots and lots of flights of stairs. They ask me that because I'm an asthmatic.
I mean, I don't know for sure if they asked me that because I'm asthmatic. I don't actually remember if I put that on my application, but they did ask that question, and I think they did ask it. I think they asked it to almost everybody that I talked to, and that's because Japan is very anti-elevator in schools.
Another thing, there are no elevators in your schools, most likely, unless they have more than, I think, 4 floors. But very rarely does a school have an elevator / let you use it unless you have a broken leg.
What happened to my Arashi towel? I'm sorry if you can hear screaming. There are children screaming outside of my apartment door. What happened to my Arashi towel?
My thoughts were kind of sporadic on this one because I was multitasking with this laundry business. I hope I made my point clear. I want to make my last point known that I don't...
God, all of the cuts. I did a lot more cuts in my older videos because I was very influenced by early Vlogbrothers videos, and it was a lot of snap, snap, snap cuts during that time. I think I've gotten better. I still do a plentiful amount of cuts for things, but I think I'm a little bit better at speaking to the camera without having to edit out all the ums. I still edit those out when they happen, but they happen less because I've gotten better at the speaking thing.
Condone being a fat person. I don't think anyone should aspire to be fat because yes, it's unhealthy. I think I'm unhealthy, which is why I'm trying to change my diet, change how I go through the day so that I'm getting better exercise. I'm trying to change my lifestyle so that I can lose weight because...
Okay, I don't like how I'm saying this here, but so I'm going to explain kind of what I meant. I say like, I don't condone being fat. That's not what I meant. I think what I was facing at the time was how a lot of the times healthier looking people will comment on larger women and tell them that the things that they need to do to lose weight because they care so much about our health, and that's not the case. No one who does that, who does not know you personally especially, is actually concerned for your health. They are concerned about the aesthetic of whatever you're presenting, and they just don't want to look at it, so you need to change. Not their own mentality needs to change. So if you are a fat person, I'm not saying that I don't condone you. It's me saying at the time, I was still trying to overcome those comments and trying to go with those comments rather than say, hey, you know what, shut the hell up. I wasn't that person that I am now, where it's like, if you're fat, whatever. If you accept yourself the way you are, fantastic. Fat people can be healthy. A lot of this is genetics, and I was definitely trying to make excuses so that people wouldn't come after me in the comments saying that I was glorifying being fat or something. I was very scared of a lot of comments in this time, and I didn't want to present myself in a way that would trigger people to do that. I want to be like, I am working on it, so don't comment about it. That's what I was doing. So I don't want anyone here to think I'm like, oh, fat people horrible, when I was a fat person, and I still am a fat person. So that was poorly put in that video.
I don't like being fat. No one really does. But you can like who you are. Again,
not totally put the right way, but yes, you can like who you are regardless of how you look. Some people do like being fat. That's a different thing. I've met people who are like, no, I like how I am. I like being the way I look. I like feeling like the way I do. So that's not entirely true either. But for me, like, I do know what I look like, and I'm not always happy with how I look. Sometimes I'm like, you know what, I look great. But more often than not, the depression gets me, the self-consciousness gets me, and I hate how I look. So, yeah, things have changed.
And that shouldn't change no matter your appearance. Just be who you want to be and stay true to yourself. It's so cliche, but it's true. Being here in Japan with the way that I look has been a huge test for my beliefs and for who I think I should be. And that's what Japan is going to be for you if you do decide to come and if you do get on the program. So before you come to Japan, know who you are. And if you don't know who you are, know that you're trying to find yourself through life here. That as long as you have a positive attitude, good can only come from it.
Which is also not true, because toxic positivity can be a really harmful thing as well. But that still stands of trying to learn who you are, wanting to know. You don't have to know immediately who you are before going to Japan. You can use it as a tool to discover who you are. I know that personally, my experience in Japan changed me a lot as a person, but there were also repercussions to that change. And I don't regret the changes that I made, but it has made life here in America a lot more difficult with the relationships that I have with my family and friends from before I went to Japan, leaving and then coming back and reintegrating into society here. So there is a bit of that reverse culture shock, and the way that my mentality changed has definitely put a strain on my relationships with people who haven't gone abroad. So there is that factor. keep that in mind if you're considering going abroad, but I definitely recommend doing it because I don't regret those changes for myself. I think I'm a better person for having done that. Not to say that if you don't do that, you're not a good person. I was blessed with the opportunity to go, and I'm thankful for that. If you are not blessed with the opportunity to go, that's okay. You are still a good person. It doesn't make or break whether or not, but there's going to be changes. Time changes everyone anyway, but there is a difference in that. I'm not actually sure what I'm trying to say anymore. I'm just saying that, like, it changed me for the better. It's changed for the better for me personally. So it didn't do that for everyone. I know some people who had a really rough time in Japan and ended up like cutting their contract short and coming back home where they felt safer, and that was okay too because they figured it out. It was a journey for everyone.
Also, I want to make it known that if you are suffering with any kind of depression about the way you look, you can always talk to me. You can talk to me on the Noble Spiel of Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, or you can private message me here on YouTube.
Which I don't think you can private message on YouTube anymore, but it does still stand that if you need to reach out, there are multiple ways to reach out to me if you want to talk about it.
I'm happy to Google Chat or Skype call you.
Google Chat! Skype! Wow, I don't use either of those anymore. I don't think anyone, I mean, Skype might still be a thing for certain people. I think I still have a Skype login, but definitely not Google Chat. That's not a thing anymore.
You need someone to talk to about being overweight and hating who you are. Because I know a lot about hating who you are.
Still do.
If you don't want to talk to me, please talk to someone about it. Don't let it bottle up because it will just explode. And I used to do that a lot, and it's never good, and you can end up losing people. My laundry is now folded, except for my massive sock pile.
So yeah, I mean, I still bottle things up and they explode. I have not taken well, I've sort of taken my own advice, but I've gotten better about it, but I'm still not great about it, so.
But like I said, if you have questions or comments, you can put those down below, or catch me on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, and VU. Don't forget
VU! VU! Wow! That's been a long time. Also Tumblr, I'm not even on. I mean, I still have my Tumblr, but I'm never on it anymore. I don't know when the switch happened because I used to be a hardcore girl on Tumblr, but now it just like, it fizzled out of existence for me.
Join Project for Awesome and also send me your submissions of what you would like to learn in Japanese and what advice you would like for the Q-tips video. I will see you all on Thursday.
I don't think anyone ever did anything for the Q-tips videos, to be honest. I was always asking people for like, what do you want for this? What do you want for this? No one would ever respond. Not a single one. It still happens where I outsource like, hey, I need suggestions for this, and it is like pulling teeth to get people to help. It's still a thing, but I always wanted to do that to kind of project the idea that I was a bigger YouTuber and had a lot of people who would comment on things, then no one would, and I would just be like, never mind, that video doesn't exist. I never said those things.
So cuties, bye.
All right. I think, did I put VU? God, VU is still there.
Let's drop my camera. Almost. That's why it's tied around my wrist.
And of course the bloopers. The bloopers things hasn't changed. I still do that. So, wow, how fun. So that was reacting to being fat in Japan. I would say a lot of it does still stand. There have been serious changes. To anyone who is still considering going to Japan, just go. Just go. Have a great time. Just don't go in the summer. It's so freaking hot in the summer, y'all. I recommend the fall. The fall is the best time to go to Japan. Wow, fantastic. Loved that. It's interesting to look back that far. We're gonna go even further, I think, with my absolute #1 most viewed video. Baskin-Robbins in Japan? Question mark, question mark, question mark. This was 12 years ago. Almost. Yeah, 12 years ago, August 31st, 2011. This was my second year in JET. No, it was the very beginning of the second year in JET because my year contract rolled over in July, in the end of July. And it's with Misha, way back when. So Misha, I hope you don't mind me showing you still in here. This is how Misha and I met, was on Jet Program. We were both in Fukui, but they were in Fukui City, and I was about a half hour south. So we did get to hang out a lot, but we were at a seminar, I think, for this. And I mean, it literally says in the description, after an English seminar, Michelle and I decided that a good idea for summer lunch would be Baskin Robbins, which I coincidentally have never been to before. Which is true. I had never been to one in America before, oddly enough. Okay, let's see it. God. Oh, actually, and this one has 31,652 views, so about 1,000 more than the Being Fat in Japan. I guess my title is really the clickbait of this. Oh, different intro. Okay, that going down thing was not supposed to happen. I know that's a mistake. That was a big old mistake. But I kept it because I didn't care.
Hello! We are on an adventure today. We just finished a seminar where we listen to people do speeches about random things for 2.5 minutes. How you doing? Alright.
Random. Oh, I bet this was like a speech contest then. For 2.5 minutes. I bet that's what this was. Speech contest, because it was so limited on time. But this is Misha's car that we are in. It was slightly smaller than my Daihatsu Move that I miss dearly. Oh, that was in the other video too. You kind of saw it a little bit. I do miss my Daihatsu Move though. It was a great little car.
I can't really get the camera with that. You don't have to. That's okay. I'm just kidding. So, where are we going? We're going for ice cream. Ice cream! Because it's really, really hot. Let's get ramen. So we're going to show you what a Baskin Robbins is like in Japan. You know, I've never actually eaten one of these in any country. I don't, no, they're not bad. I just have never really been.
Okay, so fun fact. You see the sign here. It says Baskin Robbins. In Japanese, it says Satiwan Ice Creamu. And that's because in Japan, they don't call it Baskin Robbins. They call it 31 because of the 31 flavors, which it took me, I don't remember how old I was when I learned this, but I was a grown adult learning 31 in the logo, and they have 31 flavors of ice cream. Fun fact.
2-1. So, Baskin Robbins, here we go. Speed up, let's go inside.
I was a big fan of speeding things up.
We are here. Guys, I am blocked. I can't get it.
Forgot about the snowman! Ah!
I'm scared this thing is going to jump out at me.
I still am legitimately. I have a knee-jerk reaction, as you just saw. 2 snowmen. They freak me out. It's a long story.
Too happy. Let's go around. Ooh, Atsuki's good.
Oh, I'm having some computer issues right now. Atsuki ice cream is fantastic, and if you haven't ever had that, you should go have it.
Yeah, matcha.
You can also do it
Jamaica coffee.
You can just like grab a taste and see what you like.
Sugar. Muskman.
Oh, right there. Poppin' Shower. Poppin' Shower. That's the ice cream. It's got Pop Rocks in it. And it's the #1 favorite ice cream, at least for all Jets and stuff. That's our ice cream.
I like how it's chopped chocolate. As
But I didn't know about Poppin' Shower at the time, so I just kind of glanced over it.
opposed to, you know, chocolate. I want onion tofu and...
Okay, onion tofu. I literally just made onion tofu the other day. I love onion tofu so much.
I don't know. What am I gonna choose? It's a mystery. No, there's little snowmen. I don't want to get close to it. It's
I'm so dramatic.
smiling at me. Look at that creepy face. It's got murderer face written all over it. It's psychotic. I'm gonna kill you. I'm pretty sure it is. Where's mine at? There's this one. This one. Ooh.
Okay, so she's recommending the size that we're getting because we didn't know how much we wanted, so they recommend getting a big scoop and a little scoop on top. So Misha's getting the large size in chocolate Mont Blanc and the small size in onion tofu. Look at that hair flip. I'm so good at Japanese. Misha's Japanese is fantastic though.
Nice job.
Yeah. And also, Misha paid for both of us. Oh God. Am I about to be creepy? I'm about to be creepy.
Nice hair.
Why am I creepy?
Thought that was Mokamichi from Zettai Kanashi. He looked like the robot.
I did this all the time in Japan. I would just compare any man I saw and be like, that's that character. I was such a hardcore fangirl to the point that it is so cringeworthy, I am quite ashamed. And that was not cool, filming someone like that. Not okay, don't do that.
He has really nice hair. It doesn't look like there's two different flavors, but there are. This is the orange, no, that's Aninoku, and that's the orange one. They're different flavors, I swear.
That we're two white people speaking Japanese to each other. Oh, we're so cringy. I still do it though, to be fair. I still do it all the time.
What'd you get again?
I got onion tofu and chocolate Mont Blanc.
Taste it now. Nope, we can't.
I was very, very demanding.
That's what she said. I've tasted Aninoku, so I will be the judge if it actually tastes like it.
I normally really hate eating on camera. This is kind of funny, as we were just watching the Being Fat in Japan. Eating on camera when you are a fat person always guarantees hate comments. It guarantees it. But if you are a skinny person, nothing bad happens. No one comments on anything. But enjoying myself in public, on camera, on the internet, always triggered someone calling me cow, whale. Shrek was a popular one back in the day. Always happened. I very much so don't like eating on camera because of it.
Now let's taste the creamy muffins, orange muffins. This is a great lunch. Perfect. The lunch of Japan.
I don't know why.
For those of you who were complaining about us not eating lunch and eating, ice cream for lunch, they tell us to eat dessert first, so suck it. We are currently in SoftBank. We're actually right up the phone store right now. So Michelle is buying her phone over there. So we have Docomo AU and SoftBank, which means we have AU here. We get Arashi.
Oh, Arashi. I haven't listened to Arashi in so long. I mean, I still love Arashi a great deal. I just don't keep up with a lot of stuff in Japan much more, as much as I used to, especially with music. I used to have my Oricon countdown charts, my own ranking series on all the music in Japan. I have not kept up with that at all. I mean, that's why I obviously wanted to always have an AU phone, is because Arashi was AU. But there were other perks to Docomo and to SoftBank, the three major providers there. Wow, I don't know what's going on outside, but they are doing something.
Look at the show phone. Show looks amazing.
Show, my #1 boy. Love you.
That is the Nino pose. Almost doing business. Whereas Masaji's distracted by something shiny right now.
Okay, I'm speaking really loud right now because it's very noisy in here.
I really didn't need to add music to the whole thing. I was so adamant about having like background music on all these videos. I don't really do it anymore. And it really, especially with the contrasting audio, woo! Don't need that.
Michelle and I are waiting for her phone to get backed up. So we're in the arcade.
That poor random guy.
But we found this game. And I want to play it.
I'm trying to figure out where we were. Is this a Ypla? I don't remember which. Where are we? If we were in Fukui City? Was it the really big mall right by where we did Taiko? I don't remember. And the little children ready to stare. "43 hits, Naku Naku Yaruna," which is average. You did okay. Always the Final Fantasy sound.
The only true glory is winning at the playing game.
I made the sound got even louder. The music got even louder. What am I doing? No audio rendering. Wow. Okay, that Facebook still works. No, it doesn't. It's QWERTY now. I don't know if it does. It might actually redirect you. Wow. Oh, and no end screen. Okay. Well, that was reacting to that stuff. I don't think anyone can get through watching a video from over a decade ago of themselves and not cringe. So I'm sure in another 10 years, if I'm daring to still be on YouTube, I'll react to this video and I'll cringe at whatever is going on here. But yeah, there we go. That's the throwback video. Let me know what you guys thought. Do you still like my old content? Hopefully you like my new content too. Someone else commented on the man in Baskin Robbins saying that he was a mecha ikemen Yankee, which is a super hot, like, bad boy. Weird fun stuff. Okay, well, that's it. I'm gonna go now. See you next time. Bye. Oh, whoops. Didn't mean to do that. What's it recommended? Why being ugly is a blessing? That's fun. That goes hand in hand with my video there.